Hey everyone, it's Rachel, and today I want to talk about the real struggles of living in Korea. It seems like no one is really happy in Korea these days. Okay, that is a bit of a stretch, but it's hard to come across somebody who is genuinely happy these days. What's crazy about it is that it's us Koreans who are making ourselves unhappy. What are we, a bunch of masochists? I think that one of the biggest reasons why it's so difficult to be happy in Korea is that people tend to inflate the average beyond what is truly representative. What does that mean? A lot of people in Korea tend to exaggerate how well things are going, making it seem like things are better than they really are. Okay, what's the problem with that? This is what is going down. The way people perceive normal and standard in Korea has become incorrect. You know what I mean? What people think normal and standard is not real. It's simply not. And as a result, people are struggling to meet societal expectations. I hear people saying this a lot. You know what? There are so many people around me who are living a fancy lifestyle. So many people around me make a lot of money. And they are actually living that lifestyle. Their lifestyle is the standard because there are so many people living like that. Oh, that's a normal thing to buy. Well, they say that because it's what they see on their social media page. Instagram can sometimes make it seem like everyone is living a luxurious lifestyle with luxurious hotel stays and designer bags, but the reality is that this is not the norm for most people. I'll give you an example. When it comes to getting married, there's an expectation to buy a decent apartment in Seoul or in a satellite city, but apartments in Seoul, of course, they are crazy expensive. And I'm not talking about renting a place. We're talking about actually buying an apartment. And a car too. Yeah. But realistically, of course, not everyone can afford to live like that. In fact, statistics show that only 60% of all households in Korea live in their own homes. And I'm talking about the entire South Korea, not just Seoul. Then let's talk about this question again. Buying a house when you're getting married. Is it really normal to have that lifestyle? Let me give you another example. On the internet, people sometimes criticize certain universities like Kongung University, Dongguk University, and Hongik University, saying that they offer an ambiguous academic background and they'd be like, meh, psh, I can do better than that. I would rather take the test again if I have to go there. But the truth is, more than 90% of people cannot even get accepted into them. Get this. Every year, about 5,100 people take the Sunung test. Oh, for those of you who don't know what Sunung is, basically Sunung is the college entrance exam that high school students in Korea takes. It's a super important test that determines which university they can go to and even what career path they might take in the future. So, as you can imagine, it is a big deal. But here's the thing. Among the 500,000 people that take the Sunung test, only around 35,000 people are accepted into the top universities such as, I'm gonna make a list here. Okay. They are called 서연고, 서성한, 중경외시 line, and that is it. Those are the top universities that are located in Seoul, and that's the cut line. Those are the good, quote-unquote, good universities in Seoul. And yeah, that's the reality. I'm gonna say what's on my mind, because this is my channel. I really want to say that it's important to keep in mind that the images we see on social media and the opinions we read online do not always reflect reality. So many people think that they can get into the top universities in Seoul, but the reality is, most people can't even get accepted into them. So what's the reality? Can we really say, oh, he's a total loser because he didn't get to go to one of those top universities? Can we really say that they are failures in this society, when in reality, there's only a small percentage of people who got into those schools. Good for them getting into those good schools. But is it still a normal thing to get into the top universities? Here is another example. Wait for it, it becomes more obvious. When it comes to professional jobs in Korea, it's really competitive. I'll tell you the numbers. Every year, around 3,100 people become doctors, 1,800 become pharmacists, and 1,700 become lawyers. There are also about 1,200 people who become accountants. Also, the number of people entering other professions tends to be much lower, usually in the hundreds or less. Okay, for your information, the people who manage to get professional jobs in Korea are less than 12,000 people a year. And that's a number that includes all the doctors, pharmacists, lawyers, accountants, tax accountants, dentists, vets, appraisers, management instructors, technicians, custom agents, all together. 12,000 people? That is not a lot of people. Why are we keep saying, oh, but there are so many successful people around me? So it's normal to have a professional job. If I don't have those jobs, I'm an outcast. Oh, I must be an outcast. Really, the thought process, no. Let's talk about big companies in South Korea. You might have heard of Samsung, LG, and SK, among others. These top 10 conglomerates only employ around 1 million people altogether. Over the next 5 years, these companies plan to hire around 400,000 new employees. That's about 80,000 people per year, which means there will be a lot of competitions for these positions. As new people come in, they're gonna have to let a lot of people go too. Then why are we always acting like everyone is working for those big companies when in reality the numbers is saying we're not? Some people in Korea say that don't have kids if you make less than 5 million won a month. You can't afford to have kids. But statistically, the average annual salary for people in their 20s is only around 28 million won. By the time they're in their 30s, it goes to about 34 million wons. That's about 2.5 million won per month. Even though these numbers are real, there are so many people who cannot stop comparing themselves with the people they see on social media and say, well, I can't be happy if I can't live like that. What are we doing here? Why are we saying it is not normal to have kids if we don't make more than 5 million won a month? It seems like in Korea, so many people have this fear that they just can't shake off. There's this big fear that if you don't fit in with the social norms, you're gonna feel like a total outcast. It's like if you don't meet the expectations that the society set for us at a certain time, you feel totally isolated and like you don't belong. Sometimes this pressure comes from the people really close to us, like family or close friends. And let me tell you, it can get pretty intense. Oh, what school are you getting into? When are you getting married? Look at my new bag. Oh, you should get one too. You look like you need one. Did you gain some weight? Oh, honey, you should get some weight. Oh, did you buy that house or are you paying rent? Everything can be criticized and judged when we continue to compare ourselves to what we see on the internet. You know what? Their intention behind their questions is actually so clear. But then again, they are also feeling the fear of being left out. The thing is, this fear of being excluded is no joke because people who are seen as different, they are often treated super harshly by society. It's like if you don't have what the society considers quote-unquote normal, you're gonna be judged and looked down upon. And the worst part, in a fair society, we should be calling out people who are doing wrong things, like being immoral or criminal. But instead, the standard for acceptance has become centered on money and material things. That can be really stressful for everyone. I really want to say that you don't need to worry if you feel like you are the only one living in a less fancy way after seeing somebody's Instagram. A lot of people online tend to stretch the truth or straight up lie about their fancy lifestyles. The truth is, there are more people who live happily without having to travel abroad, stay in luxurious hotels, or buy expensive things. But also, the thing is, it doesn't really matter whether that's true or not. What matters is that you stop comparing yourself to others. You're living comfortably and eating well, and you have a roof above your head, but you're still feeling bummed out because you think you're not normal and not living up to it. Really think about this. You're making yourself unhappy because you constantly compare yourself with others. I want to say we don't have to fit into anyone else's idea of what's normal. What's on the internet doesn't reflect what is the reality. It's important to remember that everyone has different goals, priorities, and financial situations. It's totally okay to have different values than your friends, your neighbors, or somebody you see on the internet. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I know today's video was super long, longer than usual, and very heavy. But let me know what you think about the topic in the comments down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!